I became involved quite early on after the disaster in December '84. The Guardian ran an editorial reminding people that although the Bhopal disaster was horrific and the numbers of dead were unacceptable, really we had to remember that this was a pesticide plant and that pesticides were basically saving the world by fighting pests and increasing production and abolishing starvation. And this was so far from the truth of the Union Carbide factory in Bhopal, which was producing pesticides for use in cotton production. Equally, the question of whether pesticides were the miracle cure for hunger was very much open to question. So I wrote a letter to The Guardian, which was published, and had a massive response to that from supporters who agreed who agreed with the criticism of The Guardian's response. One of the outcomes of that public exposure was a link that was made with an Asian activist group in Southall called the Southall Monitoring Group, which had links with Bhopal and with a number of the lawyers who were taking up the case on behalf of the Bhopal survivors. And we worked together, particularly for the first anniversary, to set up a common conference, which drew together the contacts that we had, brought over some of the activists from Bhopal. It brought in medical people to give an opinion on the impacts and the potential long-term effect of the disaster. It explored the background behind the accident to combat the Union Carbide view that it was not their fault, it was to do with the local management. And we brought over trade unionists from a sister plant of the Union Carbide factory in Bhopal, from Béziers in the south of France. The trade unionists in the Béziers plant particularly made the point that they had combined to ensure that the plant there did not use the same production process as the Indian plant, in that it didn't store methyl isocyanate on the premises. It made only sufficient for the final product of the pesticides that were being made.